You're listening to the internet. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to. Issues that need to be addressed. A cough that needs to go away before I can do this. Sorry about that. It was going to be a compilation. I realised there's been less content than usual lately for various reasons, various assorted reasons where I've no control over what germs enter into my head when I'm not looking. Presumably some germ has plowed its way into my ears at some point and infected me with this crap. So I sound disgusting. Sound absolutely fucking disgusting. I sound more disgusting than a piece of shit being pumped up someone's nostrils. Not as disgusting as if it's your own nostrils or someone else's. But somewhere in between those two. That's the level of disgustingness that I feel at the moment. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Perfectly natural. Everything, all of the aforementioned is perfectly natural. Anyway, suffice to say, on with some previously made content. Hello. Into your head, into your head, into your head, into your head, into your head. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. We've got topics coming out of this mouthful orifice. Coming out like there's no tomorrow, except there is a tomorrow. There is a tomorrow, just not yet. It doesn't exist yet, but there will be a tomorrow. I suppose there will be a tomorrow, is what we should say. Not there is a tomorrow. There is no tomorrow as yet, but that's not a cause for panic. There doesn't need to be a tomorrow yet, because it's today. You don't need a tomorrow. Stop worrying about the future. It hasn't happened yet. It doesn't exist yet. No, it doesn't exist. Just as yesterday no longer exists, it's still there. It's still there, or it was there at the appropriate time. It's gone now. Here today, gone tomorrow. That's what yesterday is. It's only here for a day. It's like a flash in the pan. If you get a pan and it flashes, you have a big light in the middle of it to tell you when it's. I have a frying pan like that. It has a big red thing in the middle, and it goes supposed to go a different colour when the pan is hot enough. I don't understand it myself. It's too complicated. Frying pans should not be that fucking complicated. That's why you get out of the frying pan into the fire, because the fire is much more simple. Fire is, even cavemen could understand fire. You get out two sticks, and you rub them together, and you cause friction and heat, and then you cause a big bomb. You blow up the bomb, and you use that to heat your sausages, or wherever it is cavemen eat it. Cavemen didn't eat sausages, I presume. Sausages weren't invented until far later, until the invention of the sausage machine, a machine that produces uncooked raw sausages, which you then have to cook. You put them in a sausage cooking machine of some sort, then you put them in the bread, which is effectively a sausage holding machine. It's a holding cell for sausages to hold them in the holds them between two slices of bread while you put them into your gob, and you eat the holding cell as well, because they're efficient. Sausage sandwiches are one of the most efficient meals known to man. They're like the pie of the breakfast world, all self-contained. You have the sausage inside the sandwich, you have the bread inside the bread, you have the butter in there too. You have whatever else you can put. Well, there's stuff on it too. Don't let yourself be tied down just by the name sausage sandwich. You can put whatever you want in it. You can put a frigging butternut squash in it if you want. Although I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't go around eating butternut squash sandwiches. Sandwiches are not a place for vegetables other than perhaps tomato. With tomato, we all know damn well a tomato isn't really a vegetable, it's a fruit. It's a fruit. If it comes off a vine and you cut it in half and pips come out, then it's a fucking fruit. It's not a fucking, it's not a fucking vegetable. No, a vegetable is a thing that sits on a sofa doing nothing. It's basically a fella who sits on the waste his life away sitting watching television all day. That's what a vegetable is. Vegetables should be given a new name so they're not tainted with the same brush as lazy people. By the way, when I say vegetables, I'm not referring to people who are paralysed. No, that's a whole different kettle of fish, an entirely different ball game. That's rugby and this is football. Football is one ball game and rugby is the other game. Never the twain shall be. It's a big difference, I can tell you. If you go playing rugby, for those who don't know, it's like American football, except with differences. I don't know the exact ins and outs of it myself. Suffice to say, rugby is where you go. It's the rough equivalent of football. You go around running around with basically a bomb, and you throw it at people's heads, and you punch them and you kick them, and then you get out a gun and you shoot them. That's what happens. You shoot people in the head. It's one of the most violent, thuggish games known to man. They go around shooting each other, shooting them in the head, metaphorically, of course, not really. There's no real shooting going on in these games, that sort of stuff. They wouldn't be able to get subsidised by governments if you went around having real shootings in games. So no, they have metaphorical ones. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking soccer has shootouts. Is that the same thing? No, strangely enough, a penalty shootout is not the same thing. You put the ball down in front of you, you clamp it down on the ground, and you bring up your foot and you smash your foot into the football like it's the head of some paedophile or something who you're trying to get revenge for, and you kick the ball and you get it goes off and someone tries to kick it between two sticks. It's like cricket, except in cricket you don't kick the ball between the sticks. You try to knock the stick off the top of the three sticks. It's called a wicket. Then you have tennis. On tennis, you have a stick. You have two sticks, or maybe three or four, that hold up another horizontal stick, and there's a net. The sticks are basically just exist as a frame to hold the net up, and you throw the ball over the net, except you don't use your hands. Oh no, you use special artificial hands in tennis. Big artificial things with mesh on them and a handle. You hold it up to say, our human hands aren't yet evolved enough to play this game bare-handed, so we use tennis rackets. It's a racket. The whole tennis racket business is a racket. I remember when I was a child. You go down to your local shop and you'd say, hello, can I have a tennis racket, please? And they'd say, certainly, sir. I've got a tennis racket here. You write 10 letters and we post them off to 10 other people, and they get 10 letters to 10 other people. They'll send you a fee. And then you get your tennis racket. That's the Romy racket. I know that's a bollocks to, isn't it? No, that's meaningless. A sign of a meaning, though. Just because something doesn't have a meaning doesn't mean you can't assign it one. I'll assign it one now. Let's assign a meaning to the term tennis racket. Tennis racket, I hereby declare it's a type of forest cat, a cat who lives in the forest, a bit like a mountain lion, except there's not in the mountain. Although you can have a forest on the mountain. There's forest and mountains not too far from here. Up the Wicklow Mountains, there's loads of there's mountains completely covered in forests. So no, you can have a forest mountain lion, or you could have just a mountain lion, or a forest lion, or you could have a crossbreed, a fucking angry, furious breed who doesn't live in either a forest or a mountain, and he feels like he's missed his call, like he's living in a desert somewhere. He's thinking, I'm not a frigging whatever you call it, a desert cat. I'm a frigging mountain cat. Might as well be, I'm like a fish out of water. I suppose it's just as well, seeing as how I'm a cat. I don't like water, but that's not the point. It's a metaphor. I don't like desert. If this desert had water in it, I'd still be a fish fish out of water. Just not a real fish, obviously, but no. It'd be a cat out of its natural environment, which nowadays most cats, very few cats live in their natural environment nowadays.
The Into Your Head podcast will be right back after this.
Having the ability to talk to animals, like the fictional Dr. Dolittle, would be an unrewarding experience, as they wouldn't understand you.
We're back with the Into Your Head podcast.
Two mountain lions walk into a bar. One of the mountain lions straight away goes up to the bar counter and says, "Rawr, rawr, 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 rawr." Which point the barman takes out his telephone. He takes out his portable telephone, which he has handily, conveniently stored in his pocket for occasions like this, although he just didn't realise it yet. He realises he has his phone in his pocket. He just didn't realise that he'd be ever using it for a situation like this, but use it for a situation like this he does. Until he gets out his phone and he does 999, and they say, "Hello, this is 999, what's your emergency?" And the man says, "Oh, there's a mountain lion at my bar counter going rawr, rawr, rawr. Would you mind coming and doing something about it, or sending somebody anyway, sending the appropriate emergency services?" "What emergency services do you use for a mountain lion at your bar?" "I don't know." And the woman says, "What appears to be the emergency, sir? Are you out of milk or something, or what is it? Do you not know what to, do you not serve mountain lions in your bar? Is it a security issue? Is he refusing to leave?" The barman says, "Well, in fairness, no, I haven't asked him to leave, although I don't want a frigging mountain lion scaring my customers and eating them. Call me old-fashioned. When I go into a public house, I don't expect there to be giant cats standing there ready to put their mouth around my head with a view to clamping down on it and detaching it from my body so they can eat it. Although maybe they won't detach it, maybe they'll just eat me whole. But no, mountain lion in my fucking pub, would you please send help?" And the woman says, "Certainly, sir. I'll send rescue services. They're not used to rescuing people from pubs or from they're used to rescuing people from lions, probably. I don't know. Usually by the time you get to someone who's in danger of being eaten by a lion, though, they're either escaped or dead. Are you either of those, sir? Are you escaped or dead? Or what's going on now?" And the barman says, "Well, he's still sitting there. He's gone quiet now. Maybe he was just calling me in his own little way. In fairness, he doesn't have vocal cords, so all he can do is go rawr, rawr, rawr. So maybe he wasn't being aggressive. I don't know. I suppose I could probably ascertain this by attempting to communicate with him in some way. Communication, that's the key. That's what they told me in school anyway. But I wasn't sure that they were talking about situations like this, to be perfectly honest." And the woman says, "Sir, I suggest you ask the lion. Can you help him in any way?" So the barman says, "Okay. Hello, lion. How may I help you, sir?" And the lion says, "Can I have a pint of your finest Guinness, please?" And the barman picks up the phone again and says, "Hello?" And the woman says, "Yes, sir. What's the situation now?" And the barman says, "Well, I asked him could I help him, and he said, 'Yes, could I have a pint of your finest Guinness? What do I do now?' And the woman said, 'Well, have you considered serving him the pint of Guinness, just like you would if he was a human?' Assuming he was a human who wasn't going rawr, rawr, or scaring the crap out of you. I assume, by the way, if a human came in there and went rawr, rawr, you'd act exactly the same way as you are today, because otherwise you're being discriminatory." The barman says, "I see your point there. No, so I'll just serve him the beer, will I?" And your woman says, "Yes, serve him the beer. Should I give him some crisps and peanuts as well, just so he's not hungry? Lessen the chances of him eating somebody." And the woman says, "Yes, I suppose you could do that. Just make sure he's not allergic to peanuts, though, because the legal system will come down on you like a ton of bricks if you go around serving peanuts to anyone nowadays." Adam Carolla is always talking about this. He says, "Oh, everyone thinks they're allergic to peanuts. If you put a peanut in a gun and you point the peanut gun at someone and shoot them in the head with the peanut, and the peanut goes fast enough, you could probably kill them with it, even if they're not allergic to peanuts. But you can't spend all day planning for dangers of peanut guns. No. And the woman says, yes, sir. So off you go off and make the line a pint of Guinness, and I'll be right here on the end of the phone if you want to come back to me if you've any further queries. Is there anything else I can help you with today, sir? Any other emergencies? And the barman says, no, I don't think so. If I think of anything, I'll make a dash for the phone and call again. But thank you very much for your help. And the woman says, you're very welcome, sir. Goodbye. And the man says goodbye. And the woman says, will you hang up or will I? And the barman says, oh, you hang up. And the woman says, no, sir, I have to wait till you hang up. It's the rules here. And the man says, okay, how do I hang up? Do I slam the phone down, or can I just press the red button with the picture of the receiver on it? I don't know how these phones work. And the woman says, oh, fucking hell, just throw your phone into a frigging pint of Guinness. And the man says, okay, and he throws the phone into the pint of Guinness that's sitting in front of the line. And the line says, why the fuck did you do that? And the man says, the woman from 999 told me to. She seemed to think that was the appropriate way to deal with you. I'm not sure I agree, but if these people, you can't ring up these people for help and then not do what they advise you to do, because that's just wasting their time. You can get put in jail for that, wasting the time of the emergency services. They are, after all, there only for emergencies, and as it turns out, interestingly enough, you may not be an emergency at all, although that's not to say that I won't attempt to serve you a new non-phone infiltrated pint of Guinness as soon as possible. I'll make it my absolute priority now, sir, to keep you happy, as I can't help noticing you're a line, and you could eat me if you wanted to. Even if you didn't want to, you could eat me. It's your natural instinct to go around eating people in bars. And the line says, none taken. And the man says, I beg your pardon. The line says, none taken, no offence taken whatsoever. And the man says, that's good, because I didn't mean any offence. If you'd have taken offence, I'd have said, why are you taking offence? Offence is something that's given, it's not taken. You give offence, you don't take it. It's plunged deep into you. It's just as you don't take a sword to your face. Someone plunges it into your face. It's the same with offence. You don't take offence, it's plunged at you. You don't have any choice in the matter. And the line says, this is getting a bit metaphysical for me, or however the word is, I don't know. I just came in here for a nice quiet pint of Guinness. Although I must say I've never managed to have a nice quiet pint of Guinness in a pub before. I think it's a thing they have with lines. They are worried when the line comes in and asks for a pint of Guinness. I think they'd prefer if I just came in and went "Rarg." But I tried that and you called the emergency services. Surely to Christ, tell me what to do next time and I'll come in and do that. Do you want me to have a special secret handshake so I can assure you that I'm not going to eat you? I don't know. And the man said, well, sure, I know you now. Next time you're here, you'll be practically a local. You'll be a regular. You'll be welcomed with open arms, unless you do a runner without paying the bill this time or something. And the line says, oh, there's no chance of that. There's no chance of that. For sure, I don't even have any credit here. It's not like I'm opening a thingy yoke. No, I'm going to pay in cash straight away. Before I even leave this counter with my pint of Guinness, I will hand the cash over to you. And the line says, oh, what was that interruption? Was that a text from your wife? And the line says, no, that was the narrator's wife texting from downstairs. Her job is closed today because they're doing something with the water or the electricity or something. So she's at home watching television downstairs. And the line says, oh, that's interesting now. You mean downstairs in this pub? No, in the fellow who's telling this story on the podcast. He's downstairs, which is a suppose it's not real. Or is it? Are we real? Are we real? Line. And the line says, I doubt it very much, because there seems to be a talking line in the pub having a discussion about with a view to purchasing a Guinness. So no, I don't think that doesn't make sense to me. Although if you have a look at the old school Guinness advertisements, they've all sorts of wild animals eating and enjoying Guinness. They have elephants enjoying Guinness and lions and all sorts of things. So I suppose maybe in a way, but in another way, no. But in another way, yes. But in another way, I think it's time for an ad break.
Into your head.
Are you a cat? Or do you know somebody who might be? Then tell yourself about Matchstick Cats, Neal's webcomic. Brand new episodes at intoyourhead.com.
Remember, we value the opinions of you, the humble and ignorant listener. Email Neal anytime at studio@intoyourhead.com.
I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, Christ, this episode is very mountain lion centric so far. And so far remains to be seen what the second half will be like. But no, the first half very mountain lion centric, if you don't mind me saying so. And I don't mind you saying so at all. Don't mind you saying so at all. You're free to say so. You're free to think and say whatever you want. This is a free country. I'm not frigging Saddam Hussein. If I was, I'd be dead. This episode would be no episode mountain lion or no mountain lion centric. There'd be no show at all today. No show. Just like on Wednesday, there was no show at all. I was unexpectedly away, so there was no podcast on Wednesday. Would suffice to say, that's the thing of the past, the no show Wednesday thing, and we're now on the yes show Saturday. So we're up to the yes show Saturday. That's what we're calling it. What we call it, yes show Saturday. Let's try that as a working title. Show 642. Yes show Saturday. Now that I write it down, it looks a bit silly, but we'll see. We might come up with something better in due course. Something better. Oh, there's a name. Something better in due course. Or we could just call it Better in Due Course. There we go. Show 642. Better in due course. Is that any good? I will see. I'll throw it down the pipe hole and see if it catches anything and comes back up, or if it gets stuck and causes a clogged drain, or maybe it'll clog the drain and stop the cold coming in, because it's fucking freezing this week. Here in Central Ireland is one of the coldest weeks in many years, I assume. I don't know. I haven't read the weather report, so I assume it's one of the coldest weeks on record. I certainly don't have any records of any colder weeks of late, but I don't keep records of the weather. I don't keep records of the weather, nor do I keep population censuses. No, we have government departments that do that. We don't have to all be duplicating this work. I need to go to the toilet. I'll be back in a moment. Excuse me.
The Into Your Head podcast will be right back after this.
No matter how well you build them, stone quarries tend to inexplicably fall apart after only a few years of use.
We're back with the Into Your Head podcast.
Two cats walked into a bar. One of the cats straight away goes up to the bar, right up to the bar counter, parks himself at the bar counter, just like a car would. He reverses it. Cats do that, they reverse into places sometimes. They'll say, oh, I'm not going head first into that. I'm not completely nuts. I'm not cracked in the head. No, I'm going to reverse in carefully. I look behind me. They don't have mirrors, but they do have a very flexible head, so they can look behind them. That's how they're able to lick their arses. The same mechanism that disgusts you, lets cats lick their arses in front of you. That mechanism also enables them to park themselves safely in tight spaces at bars. So that should showing a whole new light to you. Just because you see something as disgusting, that doesn't mean that that's its main use. It might have some other thing that contributes to, like those sewerage pipes you see going down the street. If you see a leaking sewerage pipe, you need to remember that leaking sewerage pipe, if it didn't exist, your world would be a lot more disgusting, I can tell you. They wouldn't be ferrying shit away from your house. No, if they flush the toilet and nothing would happen. Well, water would come out, but they'll basically dilute it. It would dilute it, but it wouldn't go anywhere. You'd have to empty that somehow. You'd have to get a bucket every now and then, just like you do in a prison cell. You're given the bucket and they'll say, it's time for you to slop out. So you slop out, you get your bucket and you go and empty it somewhere, and then you wash the bucket, and then you come back in with the bucket and you sit on the bucket and you wait for stuff to happen, and then the whole cycle starts over again. It's the circle of life, as Elton John used to say. It's the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. It's the band of gold. That was for a Disney film. He wasn't talking about sewerage systems, well, he might as well have been, for all you know. If you're a good songwriter, it doesn't matter what you're singing about. If you have a good lyricist and you're able to turn words into gold, you can sing whatever you want, and it'll be like you breathe out, instead, like the opposite of a dragon. Instead of breathing out fire, you breathe out gold. You breathe out pearls of wisdom, and beautiful lyrics. But don't know where what. Oh yes, two cats walk into a bar. Is that what I was doing? Yes, two cats walk into a bar. One of them goes up, parks himself at the bar, and says, "Hello, can I have a pint of your finest Guinness, please?" And the barman says, "Yes." And the cat says, "Oh, thank you very much." And the barman says, "Why are you thanking me?" All I said was, "Yes, you can. Haven't done anything yet. You're being premature." The cat says, "Well, I was raised to be polite. I was raised that if someone said they were going to do something for you, you took them at their word. And you said, 'Thank you very much.' Or you said, 'Thank you at least,' or 'thanks,' or whatever abbreviation you young people use nowadays. I don't know." And the man says, "Did you call me a young person? You can't be any more than 14 years of age. I'm 50. You're calling me a young person." The cat says, "Yes, indeed, I am calling you a young person. I understand many of you people live into your 80s and 90s now. So that makes you young. That makes you the equivalent of an 8-year-old cat. So that's young by my standards." The man says, "I suppose you have a point there. Here's your other point. Ho, ho, ho. Here's a little pun for you. I should have a Twitter account," he says. And the cat says, "Thank you. Here's your money." And the man says, "Why are you giving me my money? You can't just pay me with my money. You have to give me yours. Otherwise, it's not a payment. If you're giving me money that's already mine, that's the..." No, and this cat says, "No, I mean, this money is for you in payment. It's my money, but I'm giving it to you as part of this transaction." And the barman says, "Oh, I see. Thank you very much, sir." And he gives him his change. He says, "Here's your change." And the cat says, "I know." And the man says, "I know you know. I was just making conversation." And the cat says, "How's that conversation? That's just a monologue. You go, 'Here's your change.' It's not really starting a debate about anything." And the man says, "I beg to differ. We've just exchanged 5 sentences about it now. If that's not starting a debate, I don't know what is." And the cat says, "I suppose you have a point there." And the man says, "I win. You wouldn't make a very good debater." And the cat says, "That's true. I'm a cat. In order to debate something, you have to disagree with the other person, and you're making a lot of sense at the moment, so I'm finding it very hard to do that." And the barman says, "Well, the whole point of a debate is that you don't necessarily agree with what side you're taking. It's all for the exercise of it. You choose a side and you talk for that side. So, well, maybe we'll try. Maybe we'll set up a club on Tuesday nights when there's quiet, and we'll set up some sort of a debating society here. What do you think?" And the cat says, "That's an idea. I don't want to just jump at it. You don't go around jumping at ideas head first within half a minute of thinking of them. Well, it's something to think about, all right." The barman says, I'm inclined to agree. Anyway, thank you very much for your custom. And the cat says, you're welcome. And the man says, am I welcome? Oh, I'm welcome. I'm welcome in my own fucking building that I have a €2 million mortgage on. I'm welcome here, am I? Oh, thank you so much. And the cat says, no, that's not what I meant. And the man says, I know, I'm just messing with your head. And the cat says, give me a break, I've only got a tiny little head. It's half the size of a frigging, half the size of a tall cappuccino, and with even less milk in it, sadly. Sadly, you don't sell milk, do you? And the man says, only in the daytime, really, when we're selling food for families that have glasses of milk. I suppose I could rustle you up a pint of milk if you wanted. And the cat says, no, it was just a thought. And the man says, it wasn't just a thought, he said it out loud, so it's more than a thought. The cat's out of the bag now, so to speak. And the cat says, I suppose so. Well, it's not a particularly exciting cat, so let's leave it at that. The man says, okay. And a great night is had by all. Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu. Before you call me up on my pronunciation of Benjamin Netanyahu, just bear in mind, here's something to put a halt to your gallivanting. You're about to say your pronunciation is incorrect. Well, you pronounced pronunciation wrong. The word is pronunciation, not pronunciation. So until you have that right. And the other thing, a lot of you foreigners like to put people down, I've noticed, on the internet by using the word retard. To say, you're a retard, retard. That's what they say. It's meant as a term of abuse. Well, I'm bringing a new rule. Before you call anyone a retard, you should be able to pronounce the word retard. It's not retard, it's retard. Retard. Or else you could just say something worth saying instead, and stop with the words like that. You shower of bollockses. Anyway, on with the show. Benjamin Netanyahu.
You're listening to Into Your Head, hosted by Neal, Ireland's version of the Octomom. Except he's a dude and has cats.
Absolutely fantastic.
You join me at a tremendously exciting moment. It's Into Your Head, number 572 for Friday. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Topics. We've got lots and lots of topics positively booming to the usual crap, the usual rigmarole that we go through here. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics, etc. I thought we were supposed to be changing that. Well, we will in the fullness of time, in the swiftness of, maybe not swiftness. Swiftness implies speed and fastness. If it was swift, it would have been over and done with by now. We wouldn't still be talking about it. Which I believe was the whole point. But no. I just oiled my chair though. That's the good news. My chair, which is being needing oiling. Oh, it's still a bit squeaky. I'll have to redo that later. But I've made a start into oiling my chair. I got the oil today. It's right behind me on the floor there in a bottle. I've got some sort of oil that apparently will do the trick when I do it properly. It's like I've half done it now. You can't half do a trick. You can't get a rabbit and pull her halfway out of a hat and say, oh, look, here's a rabbit's head and one of its lungs and half of its ribs and one of its forearms. In fact, two of its forearms if we're doing it by halves, I suppose. Although I suppose that would still be quite impressive. If you can pull pull half a rabbit out of a hat that wasn't there in the first place. Surely that's just as impressive as pulling a full rabbit out of a hat. Especially, in fact, even more impressive if it's alive and it's half a rabbit. Although it wouldn't particularly be impressive if it's obvious that the rest of the rabbit is still attached to it and just hasn't emerged yet, I suppose. But this is the whole looking a gift horse in the mouth. We're so jaded these days that when a man pulls a rabbit out of a hat, out of nowhere inside a hat, out of a freaking vacuum that he's created inside a hat, we're not impressed. We say, where's the rest of the freaking rabbit? Is that all you've got? Would you not pull out a 3D movie or something? A 3D movie of Alice in Wonderland with a talking fake rabbit? Absolutely fucking ridiculous. The man pulls a live rabbit out of his hat, and all we can say is, where's your man? Where's your man out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory version 2 doing his Mad Hatter thing? Why isn't he there? Is this his hat? In which case, you ripped this hat off from someone. It's not your idea. It's what do you call that thing? It's derivative. This hat idea is derivative of Alice in Wonderland. That fella, in fact, he's not the first fella to pull something out of a hat. Who the fuck does he think he is? Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
You're listening to Into Your Head because you couldn't find anything better now, could you?
Two cats walk into a cigarette factory. By cigarette factory, I mean, where do they grow cigarette tobacco? I presume there's tobacco growing a field. I'm not going to go looking it up because I don't want to look stupid. If you sit here recording yourself looking up where cigarettes tobacco comes from, you're just going to look stupid. So I'd rather just wallow in ignorance than do that, because image is important. Image is important. Thirst is nothing. Obey your image. That's what they used to say. The people who were objecting to the 7-Up slogan. There was a 7-Up slogan a few years ago. Obey your thirst. Or was it Sprite? I don't know. It was either 7-Up or Sprite. Maybe a combination of the two. If you mix 7-Up and Sprite together, you get piss. You get piss and piss. Mixing two pisses together does not a champagne make. Yes, of course you were. I know what you're thinking there. He's going to say something now about some fella drinking champagne and then pissing it out. No, that doesn't count, because the piss that you make when you put champagne through your system is not 7-Up and Sprite mixed. Unless, of course, you're mixing the champagne with 7-Up or Sprite. Why would you do that? The champagne is already fizzy. No, the only time you'd mix wine with 7-Up or Sprite is when the wine isn't already fizzy. So you wouldn't even do that with a cheap sparkling wine. What's the difference between sparkling wine and champagne, incidentally? Apart from the name. Bollocks. Where am I even going with this? I don't know. I'm distracted. I'm watching out the window because my new printer is coming. Possibly some more I've spent the last 6 months of my life ordering cables of different kinds and getting them, doing various assorted things. My iPad turned up, incidentally. I have an iPadlet now. I'm getting ready. It's going to become an integral part of the show as soon as some more cables turn up and I do some other things. I was playing with it this morning. I may even start recording some segments in their entirety on the iPadlet. We'll see. I've already made some music on it. It was absolutely fucking fantastic. I may insert them into this show. But we're just beginning. This is just the begin. The beginning is just the beginning. The end is just the end. Anything in between is just filler. That's how life is. Anything between the beginning and the end of your life is nothing but filler. It's the hamburger helper of the universe world. That's what they say. I don't think we even have hamburger helper over here, although they've probably brought it in now since the recession. If you go into a supermarket over here now these days, it's all changed. They have all sorts of own brand crap because people can't afford the real crap anymore, so they have own brand supermarket generic crap. My local Super Value has a whole section where they showcase their generic stuff. Now you'll go up to it, all you see is white packaging, they'll have generic generic cling film, generic cat food that they won't eat because it tastes like shit. Generic cat food from Super Value, from the new range from Super Value, tastes like shit, incidentally, and they won't eat it, except maybe the canned stuff. But they certainly won't eat the dried Super Value cat food that they're putting out now, because it's complete crap. And don't try to fob me off with the Centra stuff either, because that's just the same stuff but sold in 3 packs instead of 6, so they can charge more and put it in their little garages. No, don't be fooled. I've become an expert these last few years in shopping because I'm a house husband. The rest of you, though, I worry about the rest of you, because you go out about your day. You'll be walking through Dublin on your way to work and you'll see a big fancy Centra, one of their showcase stores, their flagship stores that they have in the city. And you'll go into a Centra and you'll see, there's cat food. That looks fucking fantastic, and it's great. It looks great. Their own brand cat food, and it says it's on special. It's only €28 for 3 cans. That looks fantastic. I'm going to get myself some of that. And then you go home and you realise you don't even have a frigging cat. Well, if that happens to you, just send me the cat food. Email me for an address and I'll send you an address where you can send your cat food that you bought accidentally because you got carried away in the city centre. I understand completely. I used to go into Dublin every day and they'd have these big fancy Centras and these big fancy Spars and these big fancy Lunduses and these big fancy everything up in the city. I can tell you half of that stuff is gone now. There's no Virgin Megastore up there. I could go into town next week. I'm going to get together the last few energy drinks that I'm compiling into a collection for a lister in America. I'm going to send them. I'm going to post them to him from the GPO in Dublin, home, birthplace of the Irish Free State. I don't know the exact details, but it's a place where I used to work, and many decades before that there was basically a war, and the country was invented there. So I'm going to be posting you the energy drinks from there after I collect the last few from the various convenience stores around the city, because you won't get much down here, I can tell you. Or don't go for your fancy variety energy drinks. No, I get my energy drinks in a van from Tesco. I get them, I cram them into a list on the Tesco website and order them. Or alternatively, I go to Lidl and throw a load of crap into a trolley. And then I go off about my business. Where are we? 6 minutes and 20 seconds. That's absolutely fucking isn't that fucking fantastic? Isn't it? I need a piss.
Hello, I'm Dustin Meehan. How many of you can say that?
Did we ever finish the story about the 2 cats who walked into the cigarette factory? I don't think we did. In fact, I think I got distracted straight away. We went off on some tangent. There's nothing wrong with going off on a tangent. That's what tangents are for. They're for going off on. That's why if you ever go along a railway line, you'll see every now and then there'll be a tangent, there'll be a branch line. That's how you get to other places. If you want to go somewhere else other than where the current rail is going, you get off on the tangent track. There's a fella in a hut there whose sole responsibility is to operate the tangents. He'll say, that train wants to go over there now. I'll switch the line so it goes over there. I'll switch the points. Let's hope to Christ they don't freeze up, because if the joints freeze up on a railway track system, you're going to end up just going along the same route forever and ever. Hopefully it's a circular route. You can go around in circles, because otherwise you're just going to be going up, going the same way forever. It'll be like being stuck in, what's that thing the Christians used to have? That thing that's between heaven and hell, and it's neither. Not the what you think a Tory, the other, not purgatory, the other thing that's nowhere. There used to be a thing that say, if you die, you've done nothing, but you're just a piece of crap that doesn't exist yet. You haven't been baptized or something. You go to that thing, the nowhere land. I forget what what they call it. I think they've changed it now. They've changed the rules in the church now, as far as I understand it, because that was considered controversial. They used to say, if you haven't been baptised, you just go into nowhere land. It's like a vacuum. Of course, the vacuum would kill you if you've still got, although maybe it's just your soul, so I suppose you can survive in a vacuum then, but still, it's taking the piss. You've kept alive, well, you haven't, you're dead, but you've managed to keep alive through your whole short life, and then they put you into a vacuum where if you were still alive, you'd be dead. Luckily, you're not still alive, so you don't need to be able to breathe, so you can survive in the vacuum. But nonetheless, no, it's taking the piss. It's a piss take. Take extracting the urine. You take the urine out of one place and you put it into another place, and then you're left with a vacuum unless there's air there. You have to remove that too. If you suck all the urine out with a vacuum cleaner, will the air come with it? I don't know. Would you just extract the urine and then extract the... no, you'd extract the extracting the urine part is just metaphorical. So no, you just extract all the air and then you'd have a vacuum and then you're metaphorically extracting the urine. You're not really doing it. So there's probably no urine there at all in the first place. Our souls don't urinate. Just as they don't need to breathe, they don't need to urinate. Thank Christ for that. Because if they did have to urinate and they couldn't, then that would be hell. It wouldn't be nowhere land. That would be a whole different kettle of fish, a whole different theological issue. I know people who study theology. They spend 7 years in college studying how to be a theologian, and then they go off and they get put in charge of some church, and they go and they spend the rest of their lives doing stuff. That's what they do. Theologian is all in theoretical thing. It's not training for doing stuff. If you want to train to do stuff, you go and do some sort of a technical degree. You go and do. You learn, for example, how to screw light bulbs in with your face. Can you screw light bulbs in with your face? You probably can. I have a small one over here. It's for my desk lamp. It's a very small little screw-in light bulb. You could probably, if I cooled it down, in fact the light bulb wouldn't be hot if I haven't put it in yet, but I'd cool down the lamp, of course. Take out the old bulb. I could probably screw that in with my face. Although why would I want to? My hands are perfectly well working. I've got proper hands here. That's not to say I'm degrading any listeners who don't have proper hands. I'm just celebrating the fact that I have proper hands, and thank Christ there's no need for me to worry about having to worry whether or not I can change the light bulb with my mouth. It's not an issue. Not an issue at all. Nothing really matters. No, that's a song. Nothing happens at all. The needle returns to the end of the song, and we all carry on like before, and we'll all be lonely tonight and lonely to... I'd forgotten that was a depressing song. I think I was mixing it up with something else. Something Happens. Was it Something Happens did that song? Or maybe it wasn't. The same people who did that parachute song that I introduced you foreigners to recently. Take a parachute and jump and wave to me as you are falling. Take a parachute and jump. Oh, something falling. If the wind won't catch you, I will. That's Tom Dunn. He's on an Irish radio station called News Talk now, because apparently if you have one hit song and another one that someone on a podcast vaguely remembers and thinks might be connected to you in some way, that qualifies you to do a talk show on a news talk station. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. This country is going to pot, I can tell you. Not in a good way. Not in a everyone going around happily drugged up on marijuana way. Well, wouldn't it? Which itself mightn't necessarily be good. Not that I have anything against marijuana, but we can't all be spending our whole lives drugged up, or there'll be no one there to keep order over all this chaos, because everything's the fault status is chaos. We're here on this planet that's going around randomly through space, flying at 300 million miles an hour, and unless someone actively puts the brakes on, chaos remains. Someone has to put the brakes on, metaphorically of course. Invent a system of time and a calendar and all of that crap. If we were all drugged up all the time, that would never have happened. We wouldn't know where we were or when we were or what we were doing. We'd all be caught up in a big imaginary world. There'd be nobody to domesticize the cats. So there'll be saber-toothed tigers roaming the streets. You wouldn't be afraid to go out. You probably wouldn't be afraid because you'd be drugged up, but you wouldn't be able to go out. And even if you did, because you were drugged up, you get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger who's meowed his way up to your gate and then chopped your head off with his teeth. I tell you, you won't be changing any light bulbs with those teeth. No, that wouldn't work out. He'd break them. He'd break them straight away with grinding through them with his teeth, and then, ironically, he may well even injure himself. He might cut the top of the roof of his mouth or something, and that would be shallow justice. That's the nearest you get to an organised civilization. If we are all on drugs, so let that be a lesson to you druggies. Today's Into Your Head is brought to you by various assorted fine affiliates. If you want to help the show, just go to intoyourhead.com, explore the right column of any page on the website, and you'll see all of my affiliates, including Amazon Canada, Amazon UK, Amazon.com, Audible, place that does glasses, prescription glasses, and send them out to anywhere in the world. That energy drink that has no caffeine in it. What else? Pet food. I've got pet food affiliates, pet supplies affiliates in the UK and North America. All sorts of crap. And when you shop through any of these people using my links, it doesn't cost you a penny extra, but you help the show. Or you could just send a tip. Visit the tip jar at intoyourheadradio.com. Absolutely fucking fantastic. This was the shortest and most complete ad to date at exactly 1 minute. Hello. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, oh. 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 You're thinking, oh.
Do you like reruns? Of course you do. Reruns are the modern day equivalent to new things. Anyway, Into Your Head Radio now has a dedicated reruns feed. Every week, there's a fresh selection of old shows handpicked from throughout Into Your Head Radio's 6-year history. And it's free. To subscribe to the new reruns feed, just visit intoyourhead.com/archive.
You're thinking, oh. 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 You can't don't deny it. It may sound like a load of crap, but that's exactly what you're thinking right now. It's going through your head. It's stuck in your head, and it's going to be still stuck in your head tomorrow morning when you wake up. You'll be thinking, oh. I might go a beat behind this when I get my iPad system up and running. But so I just wanted to get that off my chest for now. Just be careful what you wish for with your thoughts, because they'll come back to haunt you as a song that gets into your head, courtesy of Into Your Head Radio. Hello. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, oh. You're thinking, oh. You're thinking, oh, Christ, he did this already. Let's not go down that same route again, please. I'm only just getting over the previous thing, which turned out to be nothing. Oh, you should be used to that by now. You've been a listener since 2006, since episode 1, I assume. Either that or you're a blow-in. A blow-in, like for example, the correspondent I got today away from, what's his face? I can't name him because he doesn't realise he's communicating with the show. But suffice to say, there are now a number of into your head virtual publicity assistants who manifest himself on Facebook and elsewhere. One of them is a female called Laurie, and Laurie received a communication from a listener who's named after an American state. That's all I can say. Hold on, it's in here in notes. This fella just says, I'm, insert name, just saying hello to a fellow IYH fan, smiley face. I've never met anyone else who likes it. Jesus H. Christ. Jesus H. Christ, Anonymous. I appreciate you're trying to reach out to other fans, but fucking hell, you've never met anyone else who you don't meet people who like this. They're spread out all over the world in different parts of the country. You're not going to go down the street and bump into someone and say, oh, sorry about that. Hopefully you're a fellow IYH fan, so you'll forgive me for bumping into you. Is there a secret sign we can give each other to communicate? No. If you want to meet other into your head listeners, I don't know, follow me on Twitter. You'll come across them. Twitter.com/intoyourheadpod. Like the Into Your Head fan page on Facebook. Facebook.com/intoyourheadpod. I think you already done that. Into Your Head podcast. You'll come across them. There's various assorted people. If you're one of these people, I don't know what to say to you, except thank you very much for reaching out to my virtual female publicity assistant, who's probably not going to be there much longer, because after a while they all get blocked off. Facebook says, give me your phone number, and my virtual publicity assistants don't give their phone number to anyone. For one thing, I'd have to have a new phone for each of them. That's not an expense that a small setup like this can accommodate. Anyway, suffice to say, oh yes, we've some other communication here too. Terry apparently listened to or else read the update about the 2-hour special yesterday, and he responded to it by saying, 2 cats walk into an aquarium. Curiosity gets the better of them and they are consumed after leaning too far over the ledge at the shark exhibit. Now presumably that's a suggestion for a 2 cats walk into a bar story alternative. I must have asked for that or something while I was drunk. So thank you very much for that. Let's put it to the test now and see if it works. 2 cats walk into an aquarium. Curiosity gets the better of them and they are consumed. You spelt that wrong, Terry. Unless consumed means something else. Let's look that up now. See if consumed means anything. Consumed with an M, because I don't want to be misrepresenting Terry. Terry's a professional something or other. I don't want to be misrepresenting him because that's illegal thing. I know, because I used it in a series of emails to Sky Television last year when I was trying to get out of a charge. I said misrepresentation is the law, and misrepresentation is very clear both there in the UK and here in Ireland. Demanded a refund of some money that they forgot to tell me they were going to charge me when they fixed my satellite dish, and it worked. I can tell you, it worked. I got my €100 back. I got one over on Big Business on Rupert Murdoch. Where are we? Consumer. No, what was I looking up? Hold on. Consumed. There we go. Consumed. Consumed with an M. 2 M's, in fact, if you count them both. Why wouldn't you? Consumed. Show results for consumed. No, it doesn't appear to be a word. It's leading me to consumed. So I'm going to make an executive decision here and assume that Terry meant to say consumed. 2 cats walk into an aquarium. Curiosity gets the better of them and they are consumed after leaning too far over the ledge at the shark exhibit. Well, how am I supposed to go with that, Terry? You've killed off both of the main characters in the first line. Maybe you mean that as a self-contained 2 cat story. You weren't requiring me to expand on it, but that's no use to me. The whole point of starting a two cats walk into a bar story is that it's supposed to get you on to some other topic. It says something to get going. It's an alternative to saying you join me at a tremendously exciting moment, or monkey nuts. That's what they call them, monkey nuts, because I've worn that one out too. So no, Terry, you don't get it. You don't get the two cats thing. It's not about coming up with exciting ways to kill off two poor innocent cats within the first two lines of the story. No, but a good effort, all to say. Try again. Feel free to try again, Terry. Give me something I can work with. Anyone else? Follow me on the social networks. If you want to interact in any of these ways, just go to intoyourheadradio.com. There's big fucking buttons up the top. There's a huge T and a huge F and a huge G plus or something. There used to be a second T for a short time for Tumblr, and then I decided Tumblr is a load of crap. I tried it for about a week. Decided Tumblr is a load of crap. I'd rather Jack that we were back. See previous episode for further on that thing. It's a reference. It's a reference to a pop culture thing. Well, maybe not a pop culture. Did anyone recognise that song incidentally? I'd rather Jack that we were back. Or was it a new thing for you? I don't know. Be interested to know. Where are we going? I don't know where we're going. 7 minutes and 18 seconds. That's where we're going. That's absolutely fucking fantastic. How long is this show going to be? I don't know. I was intending them to be a bit longer than the half hour they've been of late, because there's now only 3 shows a week. I intend to make them longer, but on this particular occasion I won't make it longer, because you're all still trying to get through the previous 2-hour thing that came out the day before yesterday. So maybe I won't make this longer, or maybe I will I? Yes, I will. Hold on. I will try. I've got my new iPad telephone here. Let's see if I can bring up an instrument. Garage band, new song, keyboard. There we go. It's time to christen the new Into Your Head keyboard. Spin that around. Probably need to turn. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. See, what I'm trying to do here is not tax you too much. Because as I say, you're all still catching up on the previous 2-hour catch-up episode after my break. Get used to those. I'll be taking a couple of holidays this year and there'll be breaks involved. You can't break an egg without you can't make an omelette without taking breaks. You can't take a break without taking a break from what you do. That's how it goes. Anyway, we'll turn that off for now. I don't even know whether you could even hear it, because I did that on the fly. I hadn't set up anything. Anyway, on with the show. There now follows a segment in which we deal with Benjamin Netanyahu and his duck reference, his world famous duck reference. Absolutely fantastic. So to recap, it's Benjamin Netanyahu ducks. I don't have any cats called Benjamin Netanyahu, but I did used to have a cat who was named after Kofi Annan. Her name was Kofi. She didn't have a surname, but if she had, if the vet had ever asked what's the cat's surname, we probably would have said Annan, although they'd usually just put the owner's surname. some reason. Cats don't adopt their owner's surname. Don't be fucking ridiculous. Or maybe they should, I suppose, but they don't. They don't. That would cause all sort of possibilities for fraud. I could go down somewhere and say, oh, I have a child called Kofi Annan. Will you give him some money, please, because he's a child? No, you can't be doing that. Anyway, Kofi Annan. Or rather, no, not Kofi Annan. Benjamin Netanyahu. Will we deal with some further correspondence while we're apparently in the mood? We might as well. Let's have a look here. Recently I posted on Facebook, TV3 Ireland AM just showed Benjamin Netanyahu talking about ducks for a whole minute before adding, except they're nuclear ducks. Now, that in itself is not correspondence, but as I explained recently, this is the new regime, the new normal, of course, as Tom Likas likes to call it, the new normal of correspondence is that correspondence is anything that you reply to me on the social networks. And Terry, the same Terry referred to above, replied, I now suffer from nuclear anatidophobia. Thanks a lot, Neal. And then some sort of a smiley that looks like a cross between a door lock and something more vulgar that you might find on a pornographic cartoon. But at least you put in an exclamation mark. When you put in an exclamation mark on something, it means, it's okay. I mean this in jest or in exaggeration, which is probably what the smiley face means too. But he's being considerate to those of us who don't understand smileys, so he's putting traditional punctuation as well, which I much appreciate, Terry. Thank you very much. But that's not the piece of correspondence I was meant to be looking at here. Let's see. Here we go. I said somewhere, apparently there are things called podcast consultants now. Yuck. What's his face, whose name I can never remember because he doesn't even use it in his name. Because it's a page rather than a day. I don't know. Your man from DPS show said, they sound evil. Wouldn't a podcast about podcasting rip a hole in space and time? I don't know, Mr. DPS show. All I know is, I'm not a nuclear physicist. If I was, I wouldn't be sitting here making, or would I? Would I be sitting here making podcasts? Because I did train as an accountant and I seem to be still sitting at home making podcasts. Although, it's partly because I failed in my training as an accountant. If I had trained as a nuclear physicist and being successful, I suppose there's a good chance that I wouldn't be here now. Or I might be doing the nuclear physicism show here on the internet, because you can do more than one podcast. A DPS show just started a second podcast. He's doing a thing about sport. That's the new thing now all the young people have. They have one podcast where it's young people sitting around getting drunk and shouting and swearing, which DPS show happens to be one of the better ones out of that category. But now they do a side thing where they do movies or sport or something. And he started, rest assured, DPS show, I won't be listening to your sports show. I have no offence, but I have no interest in sports. Not least American sports. I don't want to. That sports are for the faint of mind. People who don't have minds and they have to put all their energy into using their bodies to do things, or else they like to sit watching sports with their eyes. They use their what's that? They use their eyes. They looked at. They stand up in a stadium somewhere with a apparently plastic plastic cup of beer, and they sit there and they go, "Hello, here's a game. We watch a game. It'll be just like they do in the Simpsons often go to games. They sit in the games, and then something interesting happens other than sport, which just goes to prove sport isn't interesting. And whenever the Simpsons or anyone in a sitcom goes to a sports stadium for an event, there's always something outside the realm of the sports world that happens to make the show more interesting, because that's what they know that's necessary. Well, the characters don't know that's necessary, but that's because they're not self-aware. Characters in a situation comedy are not usually self-aware. When they are, it's corny and it's fake, because they're still characters no matter how much. You know what I mean. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for that DPS show. I've still got a load of dead Glenn Acton comments to deal with. I'm not in the mood for them at the moment. I don't have to do everything just because it's here right now, this minute. I can save stuff up for when I'm in. See, that's the beauty of being a work from home, not ruled over by some boss. Broke as hell thing. I'm not broke as hell at the moment, but there's more to life than being a wealthy office worker, you know. Everybody stop going to office. Did I say this earlier? I don't know. I think I deleted the segment, so I may not have. If you're listening to this on your way to your boring office job, stop immediately, turn around and go home and start a podcast and become a house husband or housewife, or else get another job that you prefer, or else find some happy medium. There's no point just sitting there waiting for things to change. You have to take action. You have to get up off your arse, take risks. Take the risk of being broke, for example, as I did. It's absolutely fine. There's more to life than being a wealthy individual. There's no point. No, we're getting a bit too serious here. Anyway, good morning. This is an epilogue to today's show. It's basically here to reward you for sitting through the approximately 15 seconds of announcements, which bookended the end of the show there, except that wasn't the end of the show. The end of the show was yet to come. Isn't it fantastic? This is like when you have a secret, hidden, extra secret, hidden, extra secret, hidden, extra secret, hidden track on a CD. You give it to your child and they say, what the fuck is this? Is this one of those gramophone records I keep hearing about on, that thing that's on HBO with the gangsters, set in the old days? You know, with your man out of Reservoir Dogs. Is that what it is? You'll say, no, it's a gramophone. It's not a gramophone record, rather it's a CD, a compact disc. It's called compact because it's small and compact. And they'll say, oh, that's great. How do you transfer it onto your MP3 player? Is it small enough to fit inside my flash drive that's approximately 1/4 of an inch wide? I don't know what its radius is. I don't think it's even round. Why is that thing round? What's your old people's obsession with round things? You'd have thought, at least by the 1980s when that was invented, it would have been a sphere rather than a circle, because they got over the whole thing about the Earth being a flash disc many centuries ago. So surely your CDs would have been a lot more useful if they were 3D CDs, if they were spherical shaped. Imagine how much more you could have fit. That's why the world isn't flat, it's round, because you can fit much more on a sphere than a circle. That's what God or the scientists or whoever created the world discovered. They discovered it pretty early. They said, no, this flat earth thing isn't going to work out. Let's have a round 3D spherical earth. It can still be round, just won't be flat. That's why the people who say, the earth is flat and round, had it right. The earth can be both flat and round. It's not an either or. It's not this fella says the earth is round, but this fella said it's flat. No, it's both. It's round and flat. That's how spherical works. Anyway, I think we're done here. Good morning.
You've been listening to Neal tell you stories. About cats, probably. Neal talks a lot about cats. Send your topic suggestions to studio@intoyourhead.com.
Intoyourhead.com